Friday, people! You get it. I love it. I love that you packed the house here in Orlando on day one. Day one of this first ever city convention. We've never been here. We've never done this. You've welcomed us with an amazing Friday crowd, and we are going to repay that favor by bringing to stage first and foremost somebody who's on the top of everybody's minds because she just starred in the spin-off to Supernatural. Ladies and gentlemen, bring out Wayward Sister, Katherine Ramdeen! You have your own theme song now.
Is that it? Did you just make that up?
No, it's an old Loudon Swain song.
Oh.
It's called Cast Off and it's about a nurse, so we thought it would be appropriate.
I don't know if you're joking or...
No, I'm totally joking. It's a Loudon Swain song. We wrote it.
Yeah.
And we thought it's a song about a nurse, and you play a nurse on the Wayward Sisters.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up then later.
I gotta say, there's nothing, I mean, Rob will back me up on this. Watching the pilot with her, the nurse bit especially, was so awesome because she was so excited. At one point, she screamed, "Hey, I'm a nurse." And we're like, wait a minute, you don't remember this shooting this scene? And
Then it was like screaming too. It was like, ah, I just shot somebody.
it was awesome. Yeah, by the way, congratulations on this film. It's great, you're great, and I'm super excited to see what the future holds for the show.
Thank you. I think we're all super excited to know what's going on. It's so dark in here. It's fine though, we don't need house lights. I'm gonna stay.
This gives it like sort of a big high-value theater thing when you see you in the light and they're in the dark.
Right, okay.
It's sort of...
This is the way it's supposed to be.
It's value.
Well, yeah, I was kind of crazy when I saw that because it's the first time in my life that I was like a piece of a television show, but like a piece that you know, if they took me out, that it wouldn't work as well. So
You're a core component. You're one of the Wayward Sisters. And we're proud of you. Katherine Ramdeen.
Thanks, guys. Yeah. So being a wayward sister is pretty insane and weird because for me, because it's something that I never thought in a billion years that I'm gonna take my coat off. Oh, I can take. Oh, okay. I'll just bring it in case I'm strong. I am. I'll try saying frickin' instead of the actual word. Okay. Like, I fucking worked out so long before shooting, and you know what? Like, I'm very, well, not currently proud of myself, but I am very proud of myself for sticking through it. And you know what I realized about exercising and trying to be healthy is that I really need a reason for it. Because if it's just me and I'm just living my regular life, I'm just gonna be like, why would I go to the gym? Like, okay, what does it give me? Okay, like, you gotta do it for a long time in order to see anything happen. I have zero patience. Which, segue, patience is amazing on the show. That's great. Clark is, you know, we'll get to that. I'm gonna mush over all of gush? Oh, that's also a sexual connotation that I did not mean. I get dirty fast. So, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, exercising. So, the thing is that Alex, she was going to nursing school. Now she's actually technically a nursing assistant. She's not a nurse because, I mean, I did some research on this as an actor. And I remember talking to Bob about that. Oh, louder. Should I talk louder? Or this is good? This is good. Okay, you guys are like, that's too fucking loud. Yeah. Oh, I got excited. You know, look back when you get excited. Okay, so, Oh yeah, nursing. Oh, so my research. So in my research, I found that you need to go to school to be a nurse. Like, you need nursing education, which you can't get. Well, you might be able to get it online, actually. I'm not sure, because they have a lot of stuff online. No, you can't. Oh, there's nurses. You're like, nope. Okay. Sorry. Anybody is hiring nurses, you gotta go to nursing school, medicine school. I mean, that's impossible in the plot. I run up to Bob, my friend, Bob Robert Barron's a genius writer, and I'm like, I don't think she's a nurse because that's not possible. She's not old. Like, she just, high school was then, how much time has passed? And then I'm like, okay, no. But, I'm like, she graduated high school, and that's all you need in Sioux Falls, South Dakota to work at the hospital there. So, I'm like, yes, this makes sense. I'm a nursing assistant, and yeah, and it all worked out, like in the scene where Claire comes to like, make me almost get fired. It's like, you're in charge of, and see, this is the thing, what always happens to Alex is she's like wanting to be a good person because she thinks she's a good person. And so these things just come to her and they're like usually not good things or legal, and she has to do them though. I mean, at first she had to do those things because she had to not be killed, you know? And then now, she has to help out Jody, you know, on cases and stuff in between her job because, yeah, you know, things are trying to kill Jody and her. She's got to protect herself in them. And so then Claire comes in and she's like, hey, can you break into your computer, find out information about this? And okay, it's, for Alex though, she doesn't feel like she's doing a bad thing because she's like, this is important. It's like, I understand the rules of confidentiality, working in a hospital, you know, that's important. But when there's crazy ass shit going down, the world of supernatural, that's sort of like, that it's non-issue. So she's like, sure. And what I thought was really important, and actually I tweeted it last night as everyone was making fun of me, saying, and you know, there's a difference between shooting, okay, reading a script and then shooting it, and then seeing it. It's not the same, to me it's not the same thing, because you're seeing from the director's point of view and all these other things, and you see it all together, and it's exciting, and that's why I got excited. I'm sure Darren Jensen still get excited watching it. Well, I don't know, man, they've been doing it for a while. So they're probably like, another one of those things that we just did last week. I'm gonna go eat some food. No, they probably. I can see actually Jared. Well, I'm not gonna make fun of him. He's a sweet. They're both so sweet. Everyone's sweet. Misha is the best. Yeah. So wait, you know, I'm trying to figure out what I was talking about. Since my mind wanders. I know there's questions. I just don't think there's no questions yet. Or are there people? Are there some people there? Yeah? And over there? All right. You know what? I'm gonna answer some questions so I don't have to just stand here. La la la. Bye.
Last night you were tweeting and saying you were actually typing. What were you actually typing then?
That's right. So, great question. Amazing question. So, yes, in the scene where Claire's like, hey, I need this inside information, in the script, I type Jane Doe. So on the computer, I typed Jane Doe. Enter. And then movie magic. Oh, okay. So what happened was, it's actually amazing. I love making movies and television stuff because there's so many things that have to happen in order for you to watch it. Like, there's this guy like sitting in the corner, hidden, you can't see him, he's off camera, and he has this like little mechanism, he's a tech guy, and so what happens is, when I type, he was watching my keystrokes, okay? I type pretty fast too. And I play a lot of video games, computers best. Yeah, we'll talk about that a lot more later, especially if there's any questions about it. But yeah, so there's a guy in the corner, and he's basically, as soon as I type Jane Doe, enter, he clicks a button, and then something shows up on my screen. I don't know how they did it, I'm not sure, but it's a real thing, because nothing pisses me off more in movies or TV when like there's like a hacker person or a person that's like, you know, I gotta figure something out on the computer, and they're just like, "Nah." It's like, I don't believe that. Like, even if you're a really fast typer, then I don't believe that bullshit. You're not pressing enter enough, there's nothing happening. That was really important for me to do that, and I stand by that. And, okay, though, I will say, it was the same scene. I was exiting out with my, I think she's the actual nurse. I'm the nursing assistant. I think she's the nurse, or the head nurse, or coordinator. The nurses would know what I'm talking about. Head nurse, maybe? Yeah, she's shaking it. Yeah. I was supposed to be writing something because we were discharging a patient, and so what I did was, okay, I was still technically writing something, but on that one piece of paper, where I was probably supposed to be filling out information like, oh, patients X, blah blah blah. I was just writing Alex a lot. Because the thing is it's really hard to I don't fucking know the jargon. Like, I don't know. Like, I didn't go to school for this stuff or really get trained by anyone, so I couldn't really be writing something legitimate. But I still wrote something, because you could tell if someone's just squiggling nothing, and I didn't want that. So, great question. It's gone.
Hi. I just wanted to ask, how do you suggest becoming vegan, like transitioning?
All right. Fantastic. Beautiful question. I love it. So I am going to be very precise and not... Okay, let me just tell a little story then, a small story. Well, I was vegetarian for like 8 years, and I didn't want to be vegan for a few reasons. One of the reasons was I really liked cheese. I like cheese a lot. Cheese is great. I know. Trust me, I know. I am just like everybody else. I grew up eating all the animal stuff. So I'm like, I don't want to eat animals, but I'll just eat cheese. It is fine. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not eating the animal. And then, okay, wait, before that happened, I gotta get this story straight. I was working on a project, and there were these two people there, these two fancy people, and they were vegans. And they were so, like jerks. Like, I don't know, like you know, like the type of people that are, like, they think they're better than you or something, and they're like, this is like, I'm like, oh, so you want me to go get you, blah, 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 there's cheese sandwiches over there or something? And they're like, oh no, we have our own food. And I'm like, okay. You know, they were just kind of mean, and then I felt bad, and then they made me feel bad for eating the food they weren't eating. And I'm like, this isn't right, this is bullshit. It shouldn't make me feel bad. But then what I realized much later on, actually, okay, there's something that happened before that. Jumping around. This is my brain. This is your brain, Katherine. It's scattered. What happened before that was, this is a sad story. I'm going to keep it really short and succinct. Yep, got my words. And so basically, I was watching this video online, and it was a video of the fur trade. And I mean, I hadn't worn fur in ever, a long time, or any sort of skin stuff. And it was a farm in China, and the method that they took this skin from I think it was a mink or a fox or something. Like, just watching that, it was bad. It was bad. It was, I mean, okay, I'm gonna go right through it like a Band-Aid, but basically, it was still alive. They just cut it, and they ripped the skin off, and it's just skinless on the ground. So that made me really upset. And I'm like, I mean, and something clicked in me. Something clicked, and I'm like, wait a minute. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't. That's not fair. I like animals. I love animals. I'm gonna cry just talking about it. And so, in my mind, I'm like, I know I don't wear fur or animals or those things, but it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, what I realized was that an animal is an animal. I'm an animal. A fucking pig is an animal. A pig, interestingly, pigs can play video games better than chimpanzees. People don't know this. And they're smarter than dogs. Pigs are like as smart as a 3-year-old. This is scientific fact. There's also science behind the fact of fish feel pain, which is crazy because it's just like a goldfish or something, and you see it and it's swimming around in a glass bottle, and you don't understand. Like I'm like, you're not thinking about anything, but you're just different, and it's really hard to relate. I mean, that's the key thing here is relation. So to answer your question, I'm trying to be real. This is why, because it's so hard to answer. I'm so fucking passionate about this, and I like to talk about it. But the thing is I'm not the most. I would love to be an advocate, but I don't trust myself to be nice, like to have my emotions in check, because it makes me. I don't want to upset anyone. So what I would suggest to anyone that ever wanted to go vegan, the number one thing need to do is get the education. That's what changed it for me. I started reading stuff. I'm really gonna make a shout out. You guys, everyone has YouTube. There's this YouTube channel called That Vegan Couple, and they are amazing. They will teach you everything. And what I love about it is it's all scientific fact. It's based in that. So I mean, they go over something called a meta-analysis, where they take a bunch of studies that are not. This is a very important part too. You need non-biased science. Because what happens is these industries, the meat, the dairy, the egg industry, they pay scientists to do studies and experiments to get the answers that they want. And you're like, that's unethical, that's not possible. And they do, and they say, oh, it's technically, this is, we were looking for what we were looking for, and then we happened to find it, and so it's true. So there's crazy shit like that. So we're a good resource to find non-biased, peer-reviewed articles, meta-analysis. There's a website called nutritionfacts.org, and there's a book, and it's called How Not to Die. I haven't read it. I bought it actually for my dad and I gave it to him, and he read it. And my dad eats all the meat ever, and he doesn't do it anymore. And it's crazy. He's like 50, and he's like, whoa. So, getting the education, but honestly, I think that the main thing is ethical connection. Because at the end of, speaking for myself, I can say that I can say, eating animals is bad for my body because processed meat is a class 1 carcinogen, said by the World Health Organization over 3 years ago. Processed meat, that's like right up there with like cancerous shit. Yeah, in a class 1, it means it's not a correlation. It's actually they know that it connects. They're like, this is going to cause cancer eventually. So that's like hot dogs, and hot dogs is what everybody eats, and that's what they give the kids in school. And it's insane to me that they can asbestos is the thing. So you may as well have a asbestos go. So so this information is important because you're like, oh, okay, I don't want to die, but. Then there's the environment, of course, and then there's the environment saying, oh, okay, ocean dead zones, and it's not good for the planet, and sustainability, and a lot of stuff, blah, blah, blah. Okay, sure, I can care about that. Eventually, though, I'm probably not going to live to be over maybe 150 with, technology making me into a robot android thing. But beyond that, I don't connect with the planet as much because I'm not going to be on it forever. But it's the ethical connections, looking into an animal's eyes and just understanding that it's a living, breathing, sentient, caring, feeling thing. It feels pain and it does feel love. Like I look at my dog and my cat sometimes is a little bastard, but actually, that's my dog actually. But you can tell that I can tell that they love me, and so I just don't differentiate between species. I'm like, why? Because just look at my dog is actually she's so cute. Well, you can see on my Twitter I have pictures of her everywhere. But she's a rescue from Taiwan, and in Taiwan just when I got her 2 weeks later they made it illegal to have dog farms. But the dog farms are you know, they have dogs that we have as pets, and then they breed them, and then they eat them. And how different is that to what we do? Like, you know, it's easy for me to be like, oh my God, you can't eat a dog. It's a dog. But it's like, what the fuck? It's like this, you know. So I would suggest, well, if you do any one thing to explore veganism, I would say to watch the documentary Earthlings. That's the one thing you need to do. One thing. And if you're not vegan afterwards, oh well. But and watch the whole thing. Like it's hard, but it's hard for a reason. So that's my long story.
Thank you.
Thanks. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's tough for me to talk about vegan stuff because it's just. Someone said this. I don't know who. If someone can call it out, but it's like it's easier to change. Well, I'm gonna say a person. It's easier to change a person's religion than it is to change their diet. Someone said that. You can probably Google it. Oh, hi.
Hi. I was just wondering how the new gals Clark and Yachty kind of fit into the team dynamic and what it's like working with them.
Like a glove. So yeah, the question is, Yachty and Clark, Kaya and Patience, how are they doing with the rest of us, the rest of the gang? It's like they were always there. It's crazy. They're so. I think what's really, really important, like you need to have a talented cast and you need to have a hard-working cast, and they need to kind of fit into the mold in a certain way, a certain, you know. But the chemistry, but the most important thing is they're both really, really, really nice people. Like, not divas, not assholes. Like, you know, there's some actors out there, just like people, where they can be jerks. And, but they're so nice. And they're a lot of fun. And I actually have a lot, I think I really harassed Clark, actually. She was, like, staying in this place. And I was always at her place. So I was like, hey, you want to run lines or something? She's like, why are you here? And I'm just like, no, she wasn't like that. It was great. She actually made me watch, like, the planet, there's a new planet Earth or something, and she was laughing hysterically at this. She's like, you gotta watch this. And it was, well, there were two clips. The first clip was of a bear that was, like, itchy. And so, did you see it? And so they were, like, scratching, and it was hilarious to her because they were wiggling, and it was actually funny. It looks absurd. And then the other thing was some flamingos or something. They were dancing around, and she's like, why are they dancing like that? This doesn't make sense. They're all in a row, and they're just. It's so funny. You should find it on YouTube. I don't remember. I think it's a new Planet Earth. But anyways, so they're fitting in so well. Like they're perfect. They add what. I don't know if something was missing, but it just feels more rounded to have them there. Not to mention they both have fucking superpowers. So, you know, that's awesome. That's something that well, I guess you can count Castiel, but I mean, that's something that is really great for, I think, storytelling potential. And plus they're both learning their craft, you know, and stuff like that. But, yeah, so to answer your question, how's it going? Great.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And then, I had a hard time hearing over there. I was wondering, what was the name of the documentary?
Oh, Earthlings.
Earthling.
Earthlings. It's what's the word? It's narrated by Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh.
Yeah, and he produced it because he's vegan and he's fucking hot. So. Right. Is there one over here? Because I'm gonna go back and forth. Hi.
So last night's episode was amazing, and in it, Alex had a very interesting line where she said that she's not a fighter, but she helps the group in different ways. And I was wondering if you think in the spin-off she'll become the group's medic, and if you think she went into the medical field because her family is in such a dangerous line of work.
That's a great question. Again, well, they're all great questions. Yeah, I think. I mean, it doesn't really matter what I think. I'm not the writer. I don't get to choose these things. But if I could, okay, I'm going to extrapolate. So it makes logical sense because we're in the business of killing things, and you get hurt when you try to kill things. So it'd be great if we had a person with medical skills, you know, that can patch you up. And I know it was, what season was it? But I know one time Alex was like patching up Dean's leg or something. Yeah, and she didn't know really what she was doing, and she's like, you know? And I think that actually got her thinking, like, this is gonna keep happening. You know, my family and myself, we're gonna keep getting hurt, and we're living in Sioux Falls, you know, so it's a smallish town, and we can't just keep going to the hospital and being like, oh, I got this bite from, I don't know what, a bear? Like, we can't do that. It's just, it doesn't make sense. So I think definitely that she will fit into the group as that. I also would love to explore her computer hacking skills. That was something that we originally were playing with. I don't know if we want to talk about, probably. That's aired, whatever. But originally, Alex was she was gonna be like a hacker person, like breaking into shit, and the thing is that she could do all those things. I really think of Alex as like a Jill of all trades, because yes, you have Claire, who's just fucking crazy, you know, she's just, I need to kill everything. She's on this, like, I actually never read Moby Dick, but I'm sure call me Ishmael? Yeah, so he's the guy that wanted to kill yeah, it's like that. That's not gonna end well. I don't think Moby Dick ended well. I never read it. I think I've seen oh, actually don't tell me. I've seen the Simpsons version of everything. So that's actually what I think of when people like say, oh, Hamlet. I'm like, oh yeah, no Simpsons. We talked about Hamlet once. I'm not even joking. Okay, so anyways, so we got Claire, and then we've got Jody, and Jody has a whole whack of issues, but she is proficient as a hunter. She's been doing it for a long time. And then we have Donna, who's hilarious and the best, and we all need to give her a round of applause right now because she missed it. She was on a plane! I know, but you know what's so amazing, and I'm so happy about it, and it just makes me want to cry a little bit, so Donna was like, oh, that's another thing that happened. I don't know if I told somebody this. I'll tell all of you guys anyways. There was this one part where, in this one scene where we were all together. It was the one time that all of us women were together in this, well, we were in together actually for a while. But anyways, the first time we actually shot a scene together. We were all on set together the first time. And then so it's this really big setup, and we have a lot of shit to get through on one day, and you know, time is ticking, and you know, Phil is one of the best directors I've ever seen in my entire life, or worked with. He's just amazing. Anyways, but he's kind of up there yelling, you know, we gotta go, you know, we gotta do work. And so I'm like, okay, this is great. I think I have one line in this. It's gonna be fine. And so I'm standing wherever, and then so Donna comes in. And then she gets out of her car, and she's like, or truck, and she's like, hey guys. And my one line is like, hi Donna, or whatever. And then I'm like, hi Brianna. And then they're like, Rana. And I'm like, I totally ruined that. Yeah, they had to redo it. So Donna, yeah, so she's just great, and she's crazy. She likes guns a little too much, maybe unhealthily too much. But she's got, oh my god, I can't wait for you guys to see the next episode. That's Donna's story, and you're gonna see her like you've never seen her. And then of course then we have Patience, and she doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. You know, but she knows that she has to be here, and same thing with Kaya. Well, who knows? Anyways, I'm not tired with that. But the point is, what's my point? I was talking about Alex. They all have their reasons and talents, and don't even remember your question. Maybe. Did I answer it? Yeah?
Yes.
Oh, great. Great. I should stop it there then. It's getting winded. Okay. Let's ask the next question.
Hi.
Hi.
My question was, I was out watching the show, and I was wondering, do you think the relationship between Alex and Claire will grow to kind of resemble the relationship between Sam and Dean?
Yeah. Well, okay. Yes. In a short answer, yes. I think so, because they're very parallel. Their character parallels are very parallel. You know, not eloquent with my words, but yeah, of course, you can see the similarities between both of them. Now the question is though, how do they? Because they're not sisters. They're sisters, but they're not sisters. And the thing about, so the thing is, well, no, I don't know. I think, see, I'm discovering this question right now.
Family don't end with blood.
Family don't end with blood. That's right. That's right. And there's going to be a lot of blood in this show. Especially 6 women leads. Just kidding. That was gross. You know what? It's not gross. Scrub that. You know what? Women bleed from their vaginas. I was just mentioning, I think it's almost over. My diva cup isn't filling up anything more. But anyways, there's a really funny story actually about periods and me and Kat. I think I told it last convention. And long story short, oh my god, that's another thing we didn't even think of. So the last time, the one episode where the dinner scene happened, we were actually at the dinner scene. I came back from, they were setting up, and then we came back, me and Kat sat down, and I was like, oh. She's like, what? I'm like, oh, I got a period. And she's like, I just got my period too. And I'm like, what? We synced like that in 2 seconds. So they were all women singing at the same time. It's gonna be a lot of tampons. You should get the Diva Cup is good. I highly suggested it if you can. Yeah, that's right. You know what's up. So wait, there's a question about women.
My question was, do you think that Alex and Claire's gay?
Oh, right. I think that they already have a bond similar. They would take a bullet for each other, literally, or a fucking sickle or anything. So yes, I think it's going to be similar. I think in some ways it might even be, I don't want to say stronger, but like our bodies fucking mingle. So, I don't know what happens with guys. Oh, they can have boners at the same time. Not about that. Whatever. Okay, thank you. I'm talking about Karen Jensen boners. It's a good day.
I was just wondering, what your favorite video game is.
Oh, that's a great question. Yes. Okay. There's different. Okay, just you mean in general? In general, it's hard because I have 2. Can I do in general as in PC and then console? Oh, great. Yes. Otherwise, I don't know what I was gonna say. Favorite video game? I'd say for PC, Dota 2. Woo! I love it. And for console, I would probably say Silent Hill 2. I know you guys would like Silent Hill because this is fucked up as supernatural. It's just crazy ass. No, actually, it's more so. You guys know. I mean, there's some. Or Silent Hill 4 or 3. It's just basically there's a fine line between erotica and scary things, and that's what Silent Hill is. So go out to the stores and get it. But yeah, those are my answers.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm just going to take this one anyways because it's the last one, I think. Here.
I am. My question is, absolutely adored the episode last night. Was on the edge of my seat the whole time. The one question I have is, how gross was it to do that autopsy?
Oh, okay. How gross was it to do the autopsy? The most fascinating, interesting to me thing was everyone, even the guy that made it, the prop master, everyone was so grossed out by it, and I was fascinated. I loved it, which is weird, because, it was like, oh, Katherine the vegan with some dead goopy thing that she's cutting into. Strangely enough, and you know what? That got me thinking about, okay. The thing is Alex wasn't grossed out by it. Technically, Katherine wasn't grossed out by it either. And it's not because it's movie magic, it's just because, listen, Clark was freaking out. She didn't want to look at it. And I think I don't know, maybe I'm desensitized to a certain degree. But I think actually what it is, why I wasn't so grossed out by it, was for Alex. There's two theories I have. The first theory is, yeah, she's gone into medicine. So I think she doesn't get too queasy at certain things. Because being a nursing assistant, fucking, I can't. The people that do that, you guys should be up here talking. I mean, it's incredible all the work they do and all the shit literal shit that I couldn't deal with. Because I can't do that. But like, so that's kind of Alex's shit, for lack of a better word, you know? And that, combined with the fact that she's been around death and gross, fucked up shit for so long, like over half her life, that this dead creature is like, so what? You know, for her? And that's not healthy though. No, that's not a good thing. That's why I'm thinking that Alex really needs to sort things out and just, or if anything, if she is traumatized beyond the point of repair, then she could use those slightly sociopathic tendencies to do good. So, you know, Claire comes in with a broken leg. Oh, it's gross. Let me fix it up. Yeah. Yeah. Did you have another question? Or was that it? That was it. Oh, I'm confused. Well, thank you. Is this it? Is there people? Yeah. Oh, wait. You guys, I literally am blind, so I can't. I see shapes.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm sorry. Nice to meet you.
Oh, hey, yeah.
I was, last night, and Clark tweeted about a rock throwing contest.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I just wanted to know a little more about how that came about, what went down.
Okay, so while Claire, I think we're wrapping up a little bit, some lights are coming on. But okay, so while Claire and Kaya were off making out, Patience and Alex, literally, Phil, the director, said, okay, you guys just go over there and do something. And I'm like, okay. So we go over and we're like, what is this we do? I was talking, and then I think it was Clark, you know, just to go by what names? I'm just going to go by Clark. So Clark, she was like, hey, let's throw some rocks. I'm like, I love throwing rocks, and I am so competitive. Like, if anyone ever has watched my stream ever, sorry, firstly, because I fucking rage, I'm a crazy person. But I'm very competitive, so I'm like, okay, let's make it a contest. So there was this like little peg in the, like, it was like I don't know, it was like a lake. And then, you know how water goes up and down with tides, I guess, or something? So there's this little peg, and it was sticking on the water. And then I'm like, it was pretty far away. Like, we were on it was down there. And I'm like, let's try and, like, hit the peg. Like just hit it or whatever. And then so we spent, like, I don't know, however long it took to shoot that scene, and we just spent, like, an hour just picking up like rocks. We had to find the rocks, and she had her pile, and I was kind of just taking ones from her piles. I had to look for my own. I was like, hey, yeah, we're total sisters. And so I don't know whose memory is worse. Okay, to be fair, I have a bad memory. She has that on me, but I think we both tied because neither of us hit the thing, but we got really close. Really close. So I was like, okay, fairly, I think technically, I would say I won because I think I got closer, I think I remember that. But I said, okay, it's just a tie. And we were really fucking loud. Like, they were shooting, and I'm like, can they hear us? Because we're not mic'd, right? We're just in the background. And I was like really scared because fucking like Clark picked up the biggest rock, like, and she just threw it in the water, and it was like, huge plop. Like you just, I heard it, I'm like, sound heard that, we're getting in shit because of you now. But yes, that's the story behind that. You know what, I can give her this win, I'm the bigger person, yeah. Clark won, it was fair and square, and good hustle. Thank you. This is it, okay. Hi.
Hi, first thing, someone's probably already asked this question, but what was your favorite part about, like, filming with the crew?
Filming with the crew. Oh, favorite part. Oh, that they are not grossed out or offended by my and the rest of the girls' really disgusting humor. And the stuff we talk about, like sex and just actually I should say this because it might be against the union rules, it's like harassment. But I'm just joking. We're just joking around. But no, my favorite part is I'm so comfortable with them. And I'm not even there that often, but it's like, every time I get onto that lot, it's like, they're like, oh hey, and there's hugs, and it's just nice, and I love everybody, and there's like a few very attractive people that work there as well. And oh, I'm talking about the crew, like I don't care about them, but like, yeah, the crew is some nice guys, nice girls. But yeah, that's not the answer, I just like it. It's my favorite part. Because I love it. I don't have a favorite part. I love it. Because I love it. Sorry. Okay, maybe one more question. All right.
Hey, so you mentioned you play Dota 2. Do you also play League of Legends? And in either one, what's your favorite role? Mage, tank, AD carry?
League of Legends. I don't get that whole thing about like, oh, you can't. There's a rivalry between video games, sort of, on the internet, where some people say, yeah, you guys just set up over there to finish this question. Where they, no, you can typical, whatever you need to do. Hell, like, let there be light. I think that's one of your jobs. So, my opinion.
She said.
Quiet. Not my time to shine now. I prefer Dota 2 because I play it more often. I tried League of Legends. I find it to be a little bit, in a way, it's a little too simplistic, but also complicated because I don't know how to play it. So, oh, and what's my favorite? I play carry, straight carry. So I'm not sure how that translates to League of Legends?
Yeah, they have AD carry in League of Legends. I usually make mage, that's why I was curious.
Oh, sweet. No, I love playing first position or second. Yeah. Great question. Thank you.
How was it? How was your experience here in Orlando?
Great. Me?
You? Yeah, how was it?
Great. I'm curious to know if you can see my sweat.
Hold on. Raise your arm.
No, I'm not raising.
Well, okay. I can't, so I think you're okay.
But you're not close enough to know.
You're good. You're good.
All right. Yeah, no, it was great. And I love all these people, and I'm so happy. Holy fuck, there's a lot of them.
Her first panel is an official Wayward Sister, ladies and gentlemen. We do a lot of panels happen on the stage, but everything's a panel. Sometimes it's a game. It's a game. Billy, you leaving? Oh, are you gonna go through her purse?
Oh, Billy.
Wow, patron saint of not giving a shit anymore. Patron saint of going through your stuff. You like that one, did you? Yes, we do games here. We do these games. We do games like this.